now, the #1 tight end of all time, Tony Gonzalez.
If we're talking best tight ends of all time and you don't mention Tony Gonzalez, get out of the room. When you say tight end, people think Tony Gonzalez.
In his 17 seasons with the Chiefs and Falcons, Gonzalez became the all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns by a tight end.
The best tight end in the NFL.
He has to be number one. Everybody gets mad if you say future first ballot Hall of Famer. That's the guy who's a first ballot Hall of Famer. When you look at the numbers, they can, like, his numbers compare favorably with great wideouts.
Why not look for number 88 every time?
That's a beautiful catch, baby. Good job.
Athletically terrific.
Phenomenal athlete.
Just an athletic freak.
Gonzalez's athleticism was honed not on the gridiron, but on the hardwood.
Tony Gonzalez was a really, really good college basketball player, and I think a lot of people forget that.
He can't guard Gonzalez inside.
He was really the first basketball to football guy. Guys saw how basketball skills could translate to the tight end position. Tony Gonzalez was incredible.
Gonzalez catches it. Kirkland was in perfect position, but not for a California basketball player. Come over the back.
He was the modern basketball-playing tight end who was athletically better than everybody else and an impossible matchup in terms of X's and O's before anybody else.
Tony started out as a very poor blocker.
Kills everything when you can't block him.
He couldn't block his way out of a tissue box.
People have told me, coaches have told me about Tony Gonzalez is how much he has improved as a blocker over the years.
He wasn't a willing participant as a blocker. He was a blocker. He was a tight end through and through.
And I'll say this as a former offensive lineman about Tony. He blocked. Now, he wasn't a dominating inline blocker, but he was a very competent blocker. Tony Gonzalez was not afraid to hit you.
Tony Gonzalez at number one. Statistically, and what he's done is obviously amazing, but it's hard to put a guy number one without a ring on his finger.
Tony Gonzalez might not have the hardware, but he's got all the other tools to be our unquestioned #1 tight end of all time.
He really is the best tight end in the history of the game, and I think he's rated right where he should be.
I think if I was building my dream team and I had to pick any tight end in the history of the league, I think Tony Gonzalez would be my #1 guy.
Great goal, buddy. Just great. Yeah. You're the best, and you will always be the best.
He's the greatest tight end to ever play the game. Every single year was giving you 70 or 80 catches. He was giving you right around 900 yards, 1,000 yards. He was giving you double-digit touchdowns.
Gonzalez touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Gonzalez was the best ever at his position.
Gonzalez, he's the best tight end ever to play in this league.
Absolutely. You have to be an old fart who thinks everything in the NFL got worse after 1990 to say that Tony Gonzalez is not the best tight end of all time.
The future Hall of Fame tight end.
He is so much farther ahead of other tight ends in his career numbers, and he's so transcendent receiving-wise, and for such a ridiculously long period of time. He is the best ever, period.